What's up, elites? We live action. You already know what it is. Welcome back to another real world topic video. Now, for all my new subscribers, of course, thank you for subscribing. I mean, hell, thank all of you for subscribing. But to all my new subscribers who are not familiar with these type of videos, you know, I discuss real world topics. Of course, it won't deal with anything anime, manga, or video games. None of that of the sort. Now, of course, before I start, I know this hurricane has been going around. It's been very crazy. It's been affecting other regions. What's crazy, of course, where I live at, the weather is always crazy. Of course, I see snowflakes already, yeah, and it's very cold. I mean, 33 degrees where I am, so it's hella cold outside. But hopefully, a lot of you all still have power, you know, all those kind of things. Hopefully, no one was hurt or all that kind of stuff. But let's get into this. Of course, this one, of course, will be about good money versus, you know, dirty money or bad money, whichever one you want to call it, or unclean money. Okay, it's also going to be tied in with, you know, being grateful of having a job. Now, of course, it all starts out one day recently. Me and one of my subordinates going to Mickey D's, went to get something to eat. They were taking a long time with the order. You know, there are certain things that I do have a lot of patience for, and there are certain things that I have short amount of patience for. But these kind of things, you know, I have a good amount of patience for. I mean, you know, I was off. I didn't have nothing else to do. They were packed. They were, you know, shorthanded. You know, I'm like, it happens. It happens at other jobs where I've worked. So I'm just waiting and waiting. You know, he's complaining. So we finally got our food. And on the way back, he was saying, like, man, dude was taking all day with our food. You know, they need to boss up and get real money. He said they need to be out here on these streets. So instantly, I'm like, I knew what he meant, but I just from to clarify, I said, what you mean out here in these streets? He's like, man, hustling, man. No selling them bags, man, getting real money. I told him, I said, nah, man. I said, that's not the way to go. He was like, you think working at McDonald's or some minimum wage job is the way to go? So I told him, I said, I don't know how much they pay at McDonald's. I don't know if it's minimum wage or not. And he was saying, like, man, even if it's over minimum wage, it's not that much over minimum wage. He said they should just quit that job. So I told him, excuse me, this is when being grateful having a job comes in. I told him, I said, man, do you know how hard it is to find a job? You don't get a job or be blessed with someone giving you a job. I said, man, you know how hard that is? He was like, I understand. I'm just saying. I'm like, hold on, let me finish. I said, as hard as it is out here, especially being on your own, like moi, he's technically not on his own. So, you know, it's just me. I told him, when you receive a job, be hella grateful, especially when you are on your own. If you're, you know, if someone else is, if you're still staying at home, or if, you know, it's if you got like other roommates or whatnot, you know, maybe the pressure won't be as tough, especially if you're still at home with your parents. You probably have the option to just quit, you know, hear your parents' mouth real quick, whatnot, and that's it. Or you might have one of those strict parents that be on your ass about getting a job and keeping a job. Anyway, I told him, I said, when you get a job, you better do your damnedest to keep it, because it's very hard to have a job out here. I said, if he just quit, I said, then what? I said, he got to get into that game. But when you have a job, I don't care. It sounds so much better to say, man, oh man, all right, man, let me hit you back. I got to go to sleep, you know, get up for work. Opposed to, dang, man, still trying to find a job. Man, I can't get a job. Or Obama ain't doing nothing. Or it sounds better to say, man, I can't wait to pick up my check. Or I wonder how my check gonna be. Or hell, even to say, man, my check was kind of short. Opposed to, damn, man, I'm broke, man. Let me take these pop bottles back. Or let me take some games back to see how much they give me. Let me pawn this at the pawn shop. Let me, you know. And it sounds better to say I just came back from putting in the application or going on, you know, or just, you know, I'm just getting offline from putting in apps, opposed to, man, I ain't do nothing all day, or man, or forget trying to get a job, they ain't trying to do nothing with me. It always, no matter what job you have, at least you have a job. At least you have a job. I never and I never will downplay somebody for working, you know, an honest job, making that clean dollar. And like, I never go to McDonald's and be like, nah, man, this dude flipping burgers. Oh man, what I owe he is flipping burgers, or this dude look older than me doing that. Or I'll never look down on a janitor or something, or a dishwasher. It's a job. It's putting clean money into your pocket, and that's one of the best things you can say. Yes, I have a job. Even if it's a part-time job, you have a job. And when you are on your own, when nobody else is paying your bills but you hold on to that motivator and slowly work your way up, whether through that company or that establishment, or, you know, put in applications at other jobs while you're at that job, but just to up and at it and quit, because it's, like I said, I've been blessed with the jobs I received. For all of you who knew how I was working those 2 jobs, those were given to me. I was blessed with that, you know? And then I received another opportunity, aka blessing, when my boss now, he seen me and offered me the job. That's the new full-time job that I have. And I've been blessed with 3 jobs within this year. You know, and y'all say Obama ain't doing nothing. But anyway, so I've been blessed with 3 jobs. 3 jobs the past year. But yes, however, this main job is a full-time job and it pays more. So I was able to quit those 2 jobs. So now I just work 1 full-time job. Anyway, I was trying to tell him I can't just, you know, downplay somebody because of the type of work they're doing, because at least they are working. And of course he said, man, them checks ain't doing nothing, man. You can make this and that on the streets, man. You know how much a dime, you know, like 3 dime bags do. And I'm just sitting there like, oh God. Now, this is also the thing. This also ties in with this one guy who I work with. Straight up thug. I mean, straight. He just doesn't get it. I commend him for working. But one time, I was prepping crab cakes. He was right beside me. He was like, man, this job stuff ain't cutting it. That's what he said. And I was like, it's cutting it for me. He was like, man, I'm about to get back out there and get on my grind. I said, that doesn't work for me. He asked me, did I try it? I said, hell no. I said, I will never try that. He said, well, how you know if it'll work for you? I said, I'm smarter than that, man. I was like, no offense. I said, but I'm smarter than that. I said, I got that gut instinct. I told him about this one time. I think I talked about this before, Elites. One time back when I was years ago, working at the car wash. This is in the process of my life when I was starting all over. You know, working at the car wash, and I remember I was catching a bus home, and one of the guys who I worked with, he was complaining about his pay, but he only worked a few days. I was, you know, at that time, the pay was cool. You know, I got paid every week plus them tips. You know, those tips add up. That means every day you're leaving with tips, and then that Friday when you're getting all those tips, and then you get paid. You know, I was like, okay, I was paying this off, doing this, doing that. You know, taking care of business. But according to him, the money wasn't enough. And he said, I'm about to go back and do my little side hustle. Yeah, I know what that means. So he told me, he said, if you want, you know, I'll put you on. I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. He was like, this is exactly what he said. This is exactly what he said. He was like, man, dog, it ain't shit, man. All you gotta do is take these bags to different addresses. I said, oh, hell no. I said, nah. He was like, man, what you afraid for, man? You afraid of this money? I said, I'm not afraid of no money. But I said, but I value my life. But this story that I'm telling you, I'm telling this to the guy also who prepping crab cakes next to me. This is exactly what he said. Shit, nigga, you crazy, man. I'd have jumped on that, man. You do that one day, that's $2,800, dog. $2,800 a day. He was like, you ain't never gonna make that here. I was like, man, I said, my life is worth more than $2,800. So at least how much is your life, or can you even put a price on your life? $2,800, it's flat screens that cost more than that. It's cars that cost more than that. It's jewelry that costs more than that. $2,800. That, like, I refuse to go out there and get that kind of money where I'm always looking over my shoulder from the law, somebody trying to rob me, or somebody trying to shoot me because I'm in their area or I'm in their corner, you know, they zone. Damn that. It's not worth it. And I have heard, especially the city I live in, y'all know, I have heard and seen so many stories to where if the ones who after you, if they can't get you, they go to the next. They rather go to your family. They rather go to your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. It's this one guy I know, that's why he left the dope game. They went after his son. He said it ain't worth it. He said the money was not worth it. He said all that money he got, all the cars he bought, the jewelry, couldn't even bring his son back. He said he said it's not worth it. He said it's not worth it. He said being threatened, being chased. So I really get up in the morning knowing, true enough, yes, there are times we don't want to work, but that's, you know, human nature. It's not that we're not ungrateful, but, you know, I wake up sometimes like, man, here we go another day. You know, it's good to know that on my way to work, I don't have to look over my shoulder. On the way home, I don't have to look over my shoulder. I can go in, punch in, do my job, and leave. Now, yes, there are times you have to look over your shoulder as far as keeping your wits about you, know, being on your P's and Q's, because there are people out here to rob you regardless of what you do. So, you know, I'm on my P's and Q's about that, but I never have to worry about those kind of things. And he told me, you know, the guy doing crab cakes next to me, he was like, man, but see, he was like, you bring that 2,800 home. He still stay at home with his mom. So he was like, you bring that 2,800 home to your mom, man, that'll help her out a lot. I said, but you know what helped my mom out? I was like, doing good. I said, doing right by her, showing her that she raised me right, her and my father, you know. And then this is what he said. Oh, see, you had good parents. Now you hear that a lot, and I'm looking at him like, okay, so you're justifying your actions, pretty much blaming it on, you know, your parents, you know, your upbringing. Now in some cases that can have an impact on someone, their upbringing, where, when, and how they were raised or born, not having that correct role model, not having that appropriate guidance. However, that does not make it okay. You still have common sense. You still know right from wrong. So just because you didn't have a father in your life or a mother, you should still know that, man, this ain't right. This ain't, for example, your parents have told you the traditional things like look both ways. You know, you cross the street, put on your seatbelt, don't chew with your mouth open. You know, don't chew with your mouth full. I mean, you know, don't talk with your mouth full. You know what I mean? But have your parents ever said, don't spit in someone's face, or don't sell drugs, or don't go out there and kill nobody? Of course, they never really said that to you, because you know not to do it. It's a common sense thing. When you see or hear or read what's right or wrong, you have an instinct. And for the ones who believe in God, I mean, you get that feeling, man. You just know. So all in all, the guy who was trying to get me to deliver the bags, I told him, I said, man, I have a lot to live for. I said, man, it's not worth it. I was like, man, he was like, man, you can keep doing this, man. You know what he said to me? He was like, you probably gonna be at that car wash 2 more years. That's what he said. So I went from working at a car wash, I was eons younger. I was still at home, living at home, working at a car wash at home, and now here I am, got a full-time job, way more pay, and I got my own spot. All through determination, will, faith, courage, and just staying on top of my stuff and staying out of trouble, making that clean money. And this is the results. A lot of things in life are not going to be handed to you. Some things are, but when you work hard for something and you earn it, you get a better feel and a better sense of the value of a dollar and what you've achieved. Like, when you look around at your place and realize, like, you know, man, you're slowly being upgraded. You see what you're working for. You see what you're doing. I mean, you can buy the things you want. I mean, true enough, you probably got, say if I was in the dope game, I'm like, okay, cool, I sold a few bags. Hell yeah, I can get that Wii U. I get this and that and this. And you never know. But then with my mentality, I'm so hooked on the money, I'm like, shoot, man, go to that midnight release. It's a whole bunch of niggas out there in line. They probably want to get down. Let me carry some bags on me. Next thing you know, anything can happen. Well, I'm on my way there. I can get pulled over. Bam. Behind bars. Your life is basically over with. Or if your life isn't over with, you're losing so many years over some drugs. Or you go to that midnight release. Security is there. Say if a fight break out or somebody trying to rob somebody. And I've seen it happen. The police, they'll grab anybody they think is suspect. Do a pat down. Bam, find it in your pocket. It's over. Or I've seen this kind of situation. Two people hook up, you know. One person says, hey, say if I was to say, hey, you know somebody who got this kind of weed, you know, this weed, they're like, yeah. All right, here go the money. Hook me up. Then they give me the weed. You know, once they go and get the weed, they give me the weed or any kind of drugs. You see that, oh man, it ain't the real deal. You call that guy like, hey man, this ain't the real stuff. And he's like, what? Oh, that dude, he played me, man. He played us, man. So, but really, he could have kept your money. Went to buy the stuff for him and then gave you some bold stuff. That's how it works. It's just not worth it. People have got killed over $50. $50. People have went to jail, went to prison for life over $150. Your whole life is over 150 punk ass dollars. Oh, it's not worth it. So my message to you elites, I'm sorry. I've seen so many people, so many guys brag about it, but in the end, it all fails. And when you die, you can't take nothing with you, especially everything you risk your life for, playing right into their hands. You can't take it with you. Your car can't get you out of jail. Your money can bail you out. Your money can maybe buy you a decent lawyer, if that, but 9 times out of 10 they want to get a court-appointed lawyer. It's not worth it. So I'm asking you elites, is it a price on your life, or how much is your life worth? And do you prefer clean money or dirty money? And then my last question is, are you grateful about the job you have? So let me know your thoughts, elites, with those questions. Just thought I wanted to put that out there. Hope you enjoyed this video. This has been yet another Real World Topic. The Ace signing out.